R&B money. We up. Tank. Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm Valentine.
Woo! And this is the R&B Money Podcast.
Come on.
The authority
Yes, sir.
on all things
Yeah.
R&B.
There's so many hits.
My God.
Yeah, it's too many. It's
Many
Hall of Fame
years,
hits.
much success.
Yeah.
The craftsmanship and the skill that it takes to qualify
For what?
to even be nominated to be in a Hall of Fame.
Because we know I don't think everybody should be there.
Everybody
this
shouldn't be
person
there.
should. Yeah.
But this man here, not only should he be in there,
He is.
he is in there.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
give it up. Tricky Stewart in this thing, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Finally, brother, welcome.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Listen, man, I want to start there.
Yo.
I mean, normally we go way back and then move up.
Yes.
We got to start at the Hall of Fame because this is the first platform that you are
Gonna speak on.
going to
Gonna speak on
What?
this.
Oh, make me-
Yeah, this is this day is very, very special. You know, it's like it's not one of, it's like one of those things that you don't know that you didn't think it was possible, but then it happens and you just like the nomination was gonna be incredible just to be like I've done something that quantifies being thought of this way, but to actually get in, to actually be first ballot was crazy. And I'm just like, I'm on cloud gazillion. Like everybody's like, you gonna celebrate today. I'm like, I'm gonna celebrate this for the rest of my
Forever,
fucking
yeah.
life. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like for the
Yes.
rest of my life. Like
So I've never been called or nominated. So I just want to understand the process of is it like the NFL Hall of Fame where you walk in and you walk into a house and somebody's like, "Hey man," and then one of your family members is there and they're like, "Hey man, just want to."
yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
it has that magnitude to it. And mine was done by none other than John Platt, the chairman of Sony.
No way.
You know, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
to get that call, because what happens is, John and I, we've known each other for a long time, but we know each other as people, not as in the business. We don't have business relations like that. But the way that I could tell he was smiling was like they knew who to send.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? They knew who to send because he's so much about his artists, about publishing, about what he's put into the game. And so I always knew that he had respect for me, but whoever made the call to say John should be the person to make that call, for me, that was it. And so we have that moment that is really, really special and unique that I just feel like whoever came up with notifying me, kudos to them.
So do you get like a jacket? You get a jacket. You
know,
get like a what they call it, a busk.
I don't-
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's like when they make the
You at your face or something?
Yeah, like
okay,
your-
okay.
Well, I know
like
there's
the
a
whole thing.
museum. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be, but the ceremony's in June 11th in New York, I believe it is. And so I remember going to this when Ralph Peer, when I was signed to Peer Music, was there, and this is a major, major deal.
Yeah.
This is not a lot. It's less than 400 people in this club, right?
Wow.
And so this is just something to be. When you think of all the songwriters that people that write songs and to just get included in a nomination, it's an unbelievable feeling, dude.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
No, because that's
Thank you.
And it's
That's
just amazing to
out of
see
this world.
one of us.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, yeah. And it's, obviously, I think, in the idea of getting things in an inclusive manner, like there's definitely some, I can feel that there's, with Jermaine going in recently, Dallas going in, Rodney Jerkins was just acknowledged. It feels good to know that our music is reaching the masses, being accepted by the masses, and then you're being able to tell that there's a craftsman, there's a craft that goes here. And so I look forward to I think there's a lot of people that are going to get into this to the Hall of Fame now that that it's a little bit more diverse. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, I don't know about a lot of people, but I think,
I mean,
they still gotta put up the
you would
numbers.
have to see some of the people who aren't on there.
oh, for
Like,
sure.
you know what I'm
You're
saying? Like,
still in a different class of people. You know what I'm saying? But but as you say the word inclusion, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think we've come to a place to where the respect and the appreciation and the acknowledgement
yes.
of who we are and what we've done, like it's a real thing, and we've fought for that for so long in so many different avenues of entertainment.
Absolutely. And I think from my perspective, I could be completely wrong on this, but I think Nile Rodgers being there as the chairman has a lot to do with it.
The guy.
Nile Rodgers, for in overall context of our relationship and how that ties in, when the catalog sales started going crazy and everybody started selling, and I did my catalog deal. I did it with Hypnosis, which was Nile Rodgers and Mercuriadis, right? Mm-hmm. And so they are part of, I believe, in the sense of they started giving black music top dollar. Right, top dollar, and like people were not selling in distress. People were not selling because they were broke. There was, that was a kind of a vibe of why a lot of times black copyrights ended up in other people's hands. And this was the first time where they were coming around going, these multiples, we were getting paid with those songs, actually meant to the generation having Beyonce cuts, Rihanna cuts, Justin Bieber cuts. It wasn't.
Come on, talk
it was
your
like
talk.
it
Talk your talk.
had to be. They were paying for the songs of the generations like people paid for the Rolling Stones. And they weren't making a differential between the artistry being. And so I think that kind of influence has helped, this whole, this moment that I'm going to be able to say became possible is just having someone that understood what I did, that came up and then ended up as in that room as the chairman. So I'm super excited, and thank you
That's
to everybody that
incredible.
voted in there.
Yeah, that's incredible, bro.
Shout out to Big John for making the call.
Yeah,
For sure.
Is Big John like the? I mean, especially for all three of us in this room, we can speak to it. He's been important for all of us.
Big John is Yoda.
Big John,
Yeah,
he's a
for
big
sure.
Yoda.
He's a big ass Yoda. Like Big John is Yoda, bro.
That his influence is crazy.
Crazy.
And his aura,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Because he's such a good person in a business that is painted in such a dark way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big John is a light.
Yeah.
And has always been a light.
Yes, sir.
Every single time I've met him, when I had no accolades at all, to maybe having a placement, then getting some more things going, and just throughout the process of my career personally, he's always been the same gracious and amazing guy to
Yep,
me.
There
absolutely.
for me, day one.
Well, let me tell you, one of the things that he's done with us that has just made it amazing is that one day, I don't even know, maybe 7 years ago now, we were out here. I was out here during this time, like Grammy week, and we were just talking. I was like, I said, John, they're really pulling the investment out of Atlanta. Like, we're not a rap town. We got pop songs. I was like, this is the home of We Belong Together and Umbrella and Fireworks and all these great songs. And I was like, we don't have anybody there. So the street influence is really like taking, y'all think we just rap. And so I'm like, no. And so John came down there because, he had so much success early with Dallas and Jermaine in that region. He came down there. We walked the space, and the place that people talk about, RedZone, that is now Sony Music Publishing in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
And so he's been down there planting seeds with songwriters, brought the investment back to Atlanta.
Wow. See?
Big John.
And at the same time, put us in a position to be like, hey, we have a corporate relationship in Atlanta. These are like huge things that, if not you, then who? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so John understands that responsibility. It's just been great to have these types of connections with him because it hasn't, I've always been with the team that I've been with from a publishing standpoint. So our worlds don't cross, but that respect has always been mutual.
Absolutely.
That's bringing industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
It's
that's
funny
different.
though, because he's like, yeah, because it's R&B and pop here. Man, you did Who That
I'm about to say you can't use
for JT Money.
Yes.
Listen,
You
man.
part of the problem.
Come
Don't
on,
try to
man.
act
Who that?
No. I was talking recently. Of course, yes.
Yeah.
No, my first hit was Who That. Like that was my
crazy,
first
bro.
major hit. And
I love that record.
thank you, man. That was that was just the old days, just coming from the strip club and having too much to drink.
That song was part of my show.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So when I used to have radio songs in my show, Who That was one of the radio songs in my show. It was on that.
Wow.
So you had to program it.
Program it.
And it just was what it was once you got there. No changing.
Right.
Was you turn? Was you
What?
turn when that come on tape?
With my bandana on?
You was doing this?
Crazy.
You killed, boy. I read that today. I didn't know you did that.
Yes.
You know
was
that's
the
Dirty
first one.
South Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tank, he got Dirty South.
Shout out
in
to
his-
JT
in his
Money and
spirit.
Soleil for
I'm
that.
with all of it.
And Dallas Austin put that record out for me, him and Tony Mercedes. That was an independent record. Like, they put the money up and eventually put it out with Priority over at Capitol, but they started that whole thing independent. They would allow me to break Soleil off of that. That's how Soleil ended up becoming my first artist.
Soleil was your first artist?
Yeah, that was the first thing that I put out on my label, like with Gerald Busby and DreamWorks when they went over there to
Gerald
start.
Busby.
And so, yeah, and then that.
Listen,
that was the
I've
first
been
hit.
around you, but not been in front of you for so long.
Yeah,
Because I remember all the DreamWorks stuff. Because I was at DreamWorks with Jason and Terry and with Drano.
yep.
I'm there at DreamWorks every day. Just walking around and just never ran into you.
I'm never in the label.
Oh,
I'm always in the studio.
okay.
And it's one of the things that kind of works for me and it works against me. It's like I've been in the studio my whole life, but at the same time, I've always built my own studio. And so I don't have a lot of cross-pollination with people just naturally of like, I've always built a world. I've always been into world building and signing and finding and discovery. And so, some of the sometimes people think, you don't know this person? I'll be like, you're not gonna believe this, but I don't. We've never met, and it hasn't been intentional. But after making records for 30 years in rooms by yourself, or just with a person or two, because even as it pertains to like collaboration, I'm not like a 2 to 3 person. Like I'm a me and you. Like it's like it's always just been me and the other person, or maybe just a third party, but it's always been a very intimate process for me being a creative because I don't know, it feels like a real thing when I'm in the room. So it's like it's always been a situation where I felt like I'm not giving this shit out to everybody. I honestly don't even like letting people watch me work.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how that all started. And so I wish we knew each other better because you're from Milwaukee. I've always rooted for you. I've always loved your records. There's records that you've made that I've studied, like the I Deserve record in particular. I remember when that came out and I would just be in my hotel room. I would just get super high and just listen to that record about at least like 30 or 40 times in a row before I would just go make a record. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, that was just part of my process, like being in Las Vegas. When we live in Vegas, people talk about that era of Trick or Dream and all that. Like, that was part of the process. Me just smoking a lot in the bathroom because I love the way the reflections of music sounds in them big ass marble bathrooms. But that was that record in that time period, and also obviously that the remake that you did, the I Can't Make You Love Me. That's just like those are just like two of the. I mean, I think those are two of the best records. From my personal taste, like ever.
Well, we've been talking about it and going back and forth about it, and I feel like since I'm part of your Hall of Fame career,
Inspiration
indirectly,
for sure.
yes, it's time to actually get on the books and have some Hall of Fame Tricky Stewart music in my repertoire. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's time.
It's time.
I called you. Remember?
I know it's gonna be expensive. If there's a, he said 6, 7.
I mean, you know.
But it's no way.
Let's do it, man.
It's no
Yeah,
way.
it's time.
It's no way.
Let's do it.
Let's go to early tricky.
Yeah, let's get to Chicago.
Let's
man.
go to Chicago, man.
Okay.
Let's go to where you decided this is what I'm going to do.
When I decided what I was going to do, I was a football player, right? Like, and so I'm everything for me. RedZone, it's all football references. I played quarterback my whole life.
You played quarterback your whole life.
And so what ended up happening was I was getting recruited by, like, I got recruited to high school. It was starting to get to that point. It was freshman year. Everybody came back after freshman year. Everybody was 6'4". We was all same height. Everybody was 6'3", 6'4". Everything changed.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things that I was like, okay, chances of me making it at quarterback were going to be slim. I was probably good enough. You know, it would have been one of those things where they'd be like, we'll change your position. I would have turned out a corner. I didn't want to do anything other than play quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? And so it was just a very instant change. And that led me to why I quit high school. That led me to...
Quit high school, not just football.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm out of here.
I quit high school and football simultaneously, excuse me.
How'd you do that?
What you mean, nigga?
I mean...
well, how'd you do
I'm
that?
just thinking about my parents. I'm like, how were you allowed?
Well, the thing is, my brother Laney was had started like moving downtown.
The legend Laney Stewart.
Doing records and doing records at night and writing commercials during the day and all that kind of stuff. So him and Kook had started like breaking out, doing their thing. And so ultimately, I mean, I have to say, you know, as far as like quitting school in Chicago, it's not a good thing to say, but it's not that uncommon because there's some very terrible things about going to school in Chicago that when I went to school, like for instance, your first period, you had to go to swimming class, right? If you could imagine your first, you know, you're not going to graduate
unless you go to
swimming.
You got to learn how to swim.
Now, if you can imagine at 6:05 in the morning when school would start for an athlete, then my first period would be me jumping in this pool after the 30 below or 20 below or 10 below, you know, let's do this first. Hair all dried out for the rest of the day, looking crazy.
Cook.
So, like, I was like, as soon as it didn't make sense, as soon as the sacrifice, the juice wasn't going to be worth the squeeze, I was going to get out of there. And so once football wasn't the carrot anymore, then music quickly, because I grew up in church. My mom's a choir director. I play drums in church. My whole family does music. And so I was just around music in every possible way that you could think, from the Ohio Players, producing my mother and her sister's albums, at my house, to just being in sessions. Just, you know, that's the way I grew up. And then between choir rehearsal and secular music, just kind of being integrated in both. And so when I found out it wasn't going to grow, it was a race against time for me. Because I knew I had extreme focus, right? As a quarterback, as an athlete, if you could imagine somebody just having extreme focus and just putting it on something else. I just transferred the thing. And so by the time I was 16 and 17 years old, Laney had things going on back and forth between Los Angeles and, you know, coming out here, working for Louis Silas Jr., working on the early Shantae Moore albums, working on Aaron Hall's album, you know, the record where the I Miss You and all that. I saw those records happen. You know, that was the stuff I was coming out here for. And it's during those days, in the early days, you know, once I finally got put on and I got my salary, $45 a week.
Come on, 45.
$90 every 2 weeks, $180 a month.
That's what it add up to.
You know,
listen,
hey,
I see you doing your numbers. I see you.
Now,
you didn't quit school too early.
You know what I'm saying?
Your numbers.
Because there's a relative point to. It's I remember Laney was coming out here to do a McDonald's commercial for BBD. This is when Poison is out, right? And so
He was cooking.
No. A guy.
yeah, yeah. And so Laney at this time is like 22, and we're 8 years apart. So whatever that is, he's 23, and so ultimately I'm doing everything I can to not miss a session. I'm taking the train, everything. Like I'm just making it happen. And I also want to say during that time it was Tricky and Sep. So I'm doing these things. And the other part that happened was me and my cousin, we quit school together. Tricky and Sep, like Sean,
I
you know what I'm
quit school
saying?
by myself.
Yeah.
I should have had like a partner. What's that, accountability something? Like we quitting together? You had a partner to quit with.
Whooping.
I would have got a whooping.
No, it was actually, believe it or not, it was actually my mother and my brothers that took me out of school. I say that I quit, but I actually didn't quit. I got up to go to school one day, and my mother was like, there's nothing else up there for you. She's like, we took you out of school. Yeah. She's like, we took you out of school.
Wow.
And so from that point on, I started going to the studio every single day. Wow. And it was about an hour away, like in the cold, doing all that. But it's like they would pick me up 8 o'clock. I was still a kid, so I didn't have the discipline or anything to really understand like getting up and being prepared. So I would literally just get in the back of the car, like in a robe and just clothes, like just completely disheveled, just trying to get there, but not really taking I knew to get there, but I wasn't like professional in any sort of way. So I just started getting my ass to the studio, and I realized that I loved it. It was something that I could do, like, because I had just been around it so much, and I love music. Like, I've just always loved music so much, and it's if it wasn't gonna be football, it was gonna be this. And so now I've just dedicated my life to both equally. Even though I don't play football, you would be surprised. People are surprised at how much that plays a part in mine and my brother's lives.
Yeah.
RedZone.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I did not put that together.
No, it makes sense.
I'm so glad you said that.
So now you're going back and forth to LA with Laney.
I'm tagging along. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not necessarily being given the invite.
Okay.
I'm just not being told no. Right? Like it's not like I'm being invited. The crazy thing is
put your bag in the car.
the reason why
Mama said
the reason why I referenced that amount of money is because I remember I had to go to my Aunt Kitty, Jason Weaver's mom. And I was like,
who's mom?
Jason Weaver, my cousin.
okay.
Yeah.
Who also negotiated to make sure her
also
son. Yeah. Okay, like this is
I've seen
okay.
that.
I love what these mothers are doing.
Yeah. Our mothers, Kitty, Marianne, and Vivian, like Cook's mom, Vivian, rest her soul, Kitty, and my mom, Kitty and the Haywoods. Yeah, like giving him something he can feel and all that. That's them with Aretha Franklin, all the Curtis Mayfield records, like all that stuff. Like, you're not just flying; you're flying the friendly skies.
Oh, this
like
is
Jason's mom. Like Coke is it. My uncles and my cousins wrote all those like spots. Like we were heavy in jingles before.
Okay.
Jingles was the main business in Chicago. That's why. Like so. I mean, this story goes on and on and on. Like it's
Because they had the agencies in Chicago.
Yeah, so the stories go on and on and on. But the story of the record business starts with Laney and Mark and Judy and that team, like really starting to get Laney's career. We were all, just trying to catch the wave, like with Laney, because Laney was a phenom. Like you remember like when Rodney Jerkins came out?
Absolutely.
It was like that.
No, so you got to
At
understand.
that time. You know what I'm saying?
You got to understand, I come from a kid group.
Right.
And we were signed to MCA Records, which Lil Silas signed our deal.
Okay.
So we were waiting to get in with Laney Stewart at one point. You know what I mean? When we, you know what I mean? Like the whole, so all of this for me, I'm like, I'm listening as you talking, I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Laney Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Cracking.
it's a lot to the story. And I've just been, I've been blessed to just keep moving. You know what I mean? It's a lot of crossroads and doing it for as long and as much as it's changed, but the love of it and the ability to focus, I think really just has made it where, I was telling somebody I work with the other day, I can't remember who exactly, but I was just like, man, I feel like I have never made a record before. It's like I have that type of energy. Like, and I don't know.
Oh, that's incredible.
I don't know where it came from. I didn't have it like that like 8 years ago.
Okay.
But it's like, I'm like, I feel like I haven't done this yet. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, damn, I'm capable of a fucking
after
run.
You hit the Hall of Fame. After you hit the Hall of Fame.
said,
I'm capable of a run.
I'm
Got
capable.
one more in me.
I'm capable. I mean,
God.
I'm capable of a run. I feel very good saying that just because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm working on. Like, it's been. I mean, we've been doing stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, whether it's the stuff that I did on Money Long's last record, I think really.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Take me from.
Yeah. Because we got to get to the first. Yeah.
Take me from. Okay, you on Laney's coattail.
Yeah.
You finding it, you figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Working on your professionalism, your studio etiquette, all the cool things.
180 a month.
180 a month.
Yeah, 180.
When does it become you? Where it's like, oh, it's time for me to either take the lead in whatever this is or kind of step out on my own and do something?
Oh, well, let's see. I think there was some circumstances that led to that, like in the sense when we got out here to LA, when we moved out here, like we had some deals fall through. And when I say we, I mean particularly Laney had some deals fall through, and there was some drama with a company that kind of had promised, something when we got here, and they kind of snatched the rug by the time we got here. And it was based, there's no cell phones or anything, and so we're moving across the country, and we're like, I'm 17 at this point. Yeah. We got 3 U-Hauls and about 10 cars of people coming, and we get out here, the rug kind of gets pulled from under us. And so what ended up happening is it kind of got into a situation where it was like, it went from we were all working to we had to kind of figure it out. And so what ended up happening, because when we left Chicago, ultimately it was a situation where we were all working for Laney still. Mm-hmm. But when we got out here, things kind of they changed. Yeah. And so when they got here, that's when the birth of Tricky and Sep happened. And that's when Judy and Mark really joined the team, because we were all just kind of figuring it out. But Laney wasn't in a position with the thing that kind of happened. He wasn't in a position to really take care of us the way that he was going to take care of us, as if we had a studio. The studio situation that we had went away. So we had to figure out a studio, and that's how we ended up at Back Room. And that's where some of that stuff starts with my relationship with Brian McKnight and Robin Thicke and all that kind of stuff. But it really started from the idea that when we got out here, it kind of had to grow up quickly. And, it was rough when I first got out here. It was, I went from, like, it wasn't that I was living good, but I was living protected. And I just remember at one point,
I love that.
I used to live up here at 7035 Woodley with 2 prostitutes, when I first got out here. You know what I mean? Like,
what?
It's like,
that's
the
take. You know what? You're a changed man.
Well, no, I just lived there. That's what I'm saying. We had to figure it out.
That's what Tank said too. I just lived there.
Still have questions.
It was rough.
It was rough.
I mean,
that's a different type of Threes Company right there.
Well, Sean was there too.
That is a movie.
Yeah, no, it was a lot, and so, what ended up happening is, we were going through some rough patches. We had just signed our first deals. We had signed with Famous Music. I signed my first deal for, I think I got 15.
Come on,
15K.
Yeah.
Oh, it was either 10 or 15. Before I left, I cashed the whole check. Came out here. You're trying to get an apartment. You're 17 years old. Each application is $75. You don't have any. And so I'm up against the wall. As soon as I touch down,
that money is dwindling.
Yeah, and then my dumbass is like thinks I'm a leader. So it's like the people that he couldn't take care of or that we couldn't collectively be together. It's like I'm still like I'm trying to be like him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm still like that's how I grew up. Like Laney took care of shit. You know what I mean? Like he's the gatherer and the finder of the people, and he would put it together and he would take care of everything. So I'm like big brother, like, well, if he can't do it all, let me do some. And so it's like it's one of those things where the lifting is kind of going on and you figure it out. But there was some very crazy times during that period, and you know, we had just signed this deal, and Mark called Laney, and Laney called Famous Music at the time and was like, yo, I know what the guys just signed, but can they get an advance?
They need some more.
Because now we got to buy equipment, because now we don't have a studio, so we don't have equipment, so we have to buy equipment. So, and back then,
You need equipment.
you know, equipment ain't a laptop.
It was
No, no, no,
expensive.
no.
$3,500 per
Yeah.
keyboard,
Yeah.
like
Right.
per
Yeah.
drum machine.
Right.
So as soon as we get here, not only did I just sign a deal, but now I got to sign an extension for more years before I even started making records, just to guarantee
They
it.
just not gonna give you that money.
Within the, you know what I'm saying? So the irony of the story of what Sony being my tenant, right? Like,
Right.
now
Right.
is that in there, I left one letter in there that's from Famous Music, and it says, I'm sorry that our offer will not be enough. But Sony is the company that had me in my deal.
Yep.
That was like, you know, everybody's talking about Hit Boy. Like I had a Hit Boy deal, you know, at one time, but I just never talked about it. But I was at Famous Music.
So did I.
To the point where nobody was there that was ever there
Yeah.
besides there was not one person there, and the one thing that they could decide on, no matter how many different change of errors is we not letting that nigga go.
Period.
Like, and
ain't
that
going
became
nowhere.
you're not going anywhere. Not in that deal. And it wasn't until they signed Eminem and Brian P came over there. And Brian Postel came in there, and he was like, "Yeah, this isn't good."
He gave me my first real money
Yep.
at Famous.
Yep. And so, but that's why I say it's always important to have inclusion, to have somebody that comes in, you know, to somebody. It only takes one person and to just change one little thing, but they were going to be content with over and over.
Absolutely.
Just letting me stay in a deal where I couldn't, like, you know, take care of myself. You know what I mean? And so, but with all that, we here.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But it's, you know, those days are, you know, it's funny that y'all bring that up, because I don't even think about those days, because it's like, you know, there's side effects from it. Like I could play the hell out of ping pong, but it's because I'm a great ping pong player, because when I was living with the prostitutes, all we had was a ping pong table, and I became really good at ping pong.
You the work and a ping pong table. What?
And so, yeah, it's
So
those
a lot
kind
of
of
back
things.
and forth is what you're telling me.
Yeah, no.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's side effects to it, you know.
I
so
bet
it's
it is.
Hey, man.
hey man, it is what it is. You want to talk about the story? That's the story.
That's the
you know?
story.
That's
So how? Okay, so you're in LA, you're getting your deals, you got your studio, you're getting set up. How long does it take for you to get your first record, though?
What do you mean, my first record?
like
first place
placement?
you
Your
get a
first-
real check.
Something that's like, okay,
well,
it's making a turn for me.
well, I think the first turn, because when we came out here, we were being, first off, we had a studio in LA. I mean, in Chicago.
Yeah.
So Aaron Hall, Keith Washington, Shantae Moore,
Yeah.
all those artists, they were flying there.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So we weren't coming out here cold. You know what I'm saying? And if you remember, this is the Kissing You album.
Yeah.
So this ain't. So this is like
Yeah.
serious
Yeah,
production.
cracking.
Like so we're
Okay.
like Laney's being looked at on from the top tier level,
Absolutely.
because that's Quincy Jones artists. You know what I'm saying? That's Quincy Jones. That's Jay Brown. That's those guys. That's Benny Medina. That's
Yeah.
Quest
Yeah,
Records, right?
For sure.
And so that stuff's happening. We come out here, and so I got a little bit of stuff going on because I'm working through Laney. But I started working. The very first project that we did was a song that I did with my cousin Jason Weaver called "Be My Girl." "Be My Girl" was cut by the very first person that ever put us on a plane to do a record for me personally. Was a gentleman by the name of Daryl Sutton and Chris Stokes to work with Immature.
Immature, okay.
With the original Immature. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the very first, like I met
When
Marcus Houston.
was Batman.
Yeah,
He was Batman.
with 9 years old, I'm producing Marcus Houston's first album. And so that's how I know him and Ray J and Brandy and all them. I've known them all since they were like, you know, very young. And so that was the very first time. But I would say the most significant thing that happened was we had done remixes and things like that because Lula started throwing us work. So we had started remixing LA and Babyface records. We had remixed the Don't Be Afraid record off of the Juice soundtrack and all that for Aaron Hall. Yeah. But then Lul was like, Lul gave us a budget, and these were back then it was all ins. Like we got a $23,000 budget, which because it didn't really go by producer fees.
Yep.
It went by what the costs were and what the producer managed.
Yeah.
What deal he cut, which was left
Talk to talk.
was your fee.
Yes,
Come on.
And so depending on how much your guitar player was, how much the studio cost. So you would come in as the producer, you would come in and go, well, listen, what deal can I cut on the studio? You're cutting deals everywhere to walk in to ultimately go
home.
Yeah, so but back then the average producer fee was $3,000 pretty much across the board that you were bringing down, and then you had people that was get like closer to $7,500, you know. And so but the producer would get all the money and then make the deals with each background singer, each person. So $23,000 gave us the most flexibility. We knew we were going to be able to make probably at least half of that at the time of what was happening. So that was probably like we were gonna pull down about 12 or 13,000 on a record that we did on Shantae called "Searching," and it was her very first. This is the very first song on that album, "Love Supreme." Like that is a very iconic album. She had that "Love's Taking Over" record on there. Like, and so these are people in relationships and memories that like really just like changed the game in that sense of like, you know, Lul looking at us like that and being who he is in music, you know, that's Belle Biv DeVoe. That's LA and Babyface. That's Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. That's Any Heartbreak. That's Bobby Brown. So for him to be looking at us at 16 and 17 years old and putting us on his very first artist was just like an anointing that we could never, you know, could have never expected. Because there's levels to who you work for. And I think, you know, part of my attraction, for whatever reason, I think I just knew how to get with people and stick with them. I was just never one of those people that wanted to be all things to everybody. And Lul was just one of those people that put me in position. And he put me in position to meet LA.
Yeah.
And then those are like, if you look at my career, that's who I work for.
You stayed locked in.
Like, that's who I work for. And then there's all the little ancillary things, but somehow this circle that you guys are talking about, you know, it has all happened for me in the 90s, and you know, like I haven't ventured out too much.
So did you get your own place, or did you stay with
you crazy
with them?
Because I know what I would.
What you was gonna do? You just gonna expand it and bring some more in. Yeah, I see.
No.
Yeah, no.
That leads to the next part, because we got away from them, and then the next thing I knew, we were living over here in Burbank, where I had a 1-bedroom with 13 roommates.
Wait, what? Now you're living in a hostel?
But now I'm building. I'm always building.
Okay.
So even though I don't have nothing, I've always had a coordinator.
We own to something.
I've always had a coordinator. I've always had an assistant. I've always had engineers. I've always had producers.
After 1 bedroom, you had an assistant?
Right. I'm trying to tell you, we were always trying, because of how our family does things.
Yes.
That's what we knew. We knew that you need a team.
Okay.
We've never seen someone be successful and not build a team. So just because you don't have one doesn't mean you don't need one. So you have to find people that will buy in.
Can you say that one more time for the people that's listening?
Yeah.
Just because
you don't
have one doesn't mean you don't need one. And so you take the team at the level that you can play. It's not. It's. But
There are
I mean,
teams on every level. I
yes,
like
there's
this.
teams on
Right.
every
There's a
level.
lot of
Like,
divisions.
Yeah, and so I knew that, and so we were buying equipment. We were buying microphones. It wasn't like we were busy. Like we get 10 for a remix, 75 for this. Like we have money, but the keyboards are 2,800, 3,500, 4,600. Like, and we're buying everything, every microphone, so like we're not buying anything. Like,
what you
what you
need.
need.
yes,
The
and
investment.
you walk into the studio and we have racks and racks 6 feet tall of stuff. We don't have anything. Like, and even like going back to RedZone, like RedZone, I didn't have a place to live, but I had RedZone. We had the building before I really had, like, I didn't really start sleeping in beds and stuff until I was like 28, 29 years old.
You was
Like
in the studio.
the couch went in the studio. Like, it's like, all right, let's get it. Like, it was just an obsession of music. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't know.
That's why you're in the Hall of Fame,
This
brother.
is exactly why you.
This is why. No, and I love that you're so open and honest with us to tell us that story, right? Because I think sometimes people skip over that process of what it took for you, right? And that's not saying what it takes for everyone, but what it took for you, and with someone, especially the younger generation, having an understanding of like, listen, the sacrifices that this man made to get to this point. You saying, I didn't sleep in a bed during my
Bed
journey
sleep.
till 28. Right? And it's funny because I tell a story of when I first came to LA and I slept on the floor for 9 months. Right? And I thought 9 months was a long time. You talking about 9 years. You know what I'm
didn't
saying?
sleep on
Where
the
you
floor. I
really-
had a couch.
Nah.
I didn't sleep on the floor.
Yeah, I was on the floor, dog.
Yeah, I
But-
didn't have that. I
but
had
I re-
enough for a
but I
couch.
really
I
wanted
just
it.
didn't have one. I couldn't buy two. So one gonna be one there and one there. You know, it was gonna be at the studio
Bro.
so I could sleep on it.
But you were also hyper focused on the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were like, everything's going to go into this.
yeah, for
Like,
sure.
Me early, like, I guess part of me being an artist too. You know what I mean? I was
Right.
a writer and a producer, of course, but I was able to reap different benefits early
Yeah.
because I was an artist.
Right.
That kind of could take me off path.
Yeah. I was only an
Easy.
artist to get off the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I wasn't even trying to be no artist. I'm like, but wait, they'll give me a record deal and I go get a bed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started as an artist too, in the sense it's really funny. But what ended up happening is, I don't know how if you know how I know Tab and Sam Salter and Robin Thicke, but it goes back to Lil Silas again. He had a woman that worked for him. Her name was Madeline Randolph, his like right hand person. And so I was in a group called Flight with me and my cousin who were producers, Sep, and then two white guys. One I went to high school with, and we were like friends.
So y'all was Color Me Bad before Color Me Bad?
Well, this is how I ended up producing Color Me Bad. And so what ends up happening is it's the economic boom of the interracial group. And
I love it.
Economic boom of the interracial group.
it was that time.
Yes.
And so we met with Madeline Randolph, and she was like, "Yeah, y'all's group is kind of whack, but the production is crazy. But I have this other group, and y'all should produce them." And that other group was a group called Common Ground, and it was Tab, Robin Thicke, and Sam Salter, and another dude named Corey, I believe. And I'm looking at them, and I'm like, but obviously Robin Thicke can sing, Sam Salter can sing. I was the lead singer of our group, so that'll let you know how much trouble we were in. And so it wasn't a hard sell for me to give away my production. I wasn't born with what you guys have. But with that being said, I'm looking at them because I'm into aesthetics though, and I'm like, this motherfucker's 6'3". He's 5'6". He's black as hell. I'm like, what kind of group is this? You know, like, and so we ended up going in the studio with them. Made some dope records over the weekend. They gave us like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we just hit it off really, really well. Ended up becoming best friends. You know, Tab is still to this day.
Absolutely.
We're still super locked in. Always like real brothers.
Yeah.
Robin Thicke is a dare friend. Like, you know, every time he touches down in Atlanta, he's gonna come through. We're gonna see each other.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you always see me when y'all on tour together. You know, I'm always there. But and obviously Sam, rest in peace. You know, he's not here with us. And Sam is such a huge part of RedZone, and in the story of the tentacles of where everybody comes from, and what the thing was when we got to Atlanta was Sam, because Sam is what opened the door to LA
Yes.
as an artist.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so Sam was the vehicle of the guy that wanted to build in LA, that had to rebuild in Atlanta, bringing the kid from Compton, you know, to Atlanta. And Sam was a very just beautiful person, beautiful spirit, super talented, sing anybody. You know, no disrespect to nobody, but not a lot of people had it like Sam. And that's just the truth of the matter. And he was he was a gracious vessel of people's first. Like, you know what I mean? It's like my first executive productions, like Katie's first mixes, you know, first time doing strings, you know, like we all, like JQ comes from there, like Zeke. This is how I all know them, because these are the people that Sam brought, as his attraction as an artist brought us so many people into what we call RedZone.
Sam was the first person to cut the first Underdog record.
Which one was it?
Did you know that?
I don't. Which
I
one
Like
was
Them Girls.
it? Wow, that
He
was
was
a
the first
crazy
person to
record.
actually cut it, because it was my song. I wrote the record, and
He killed that record too.
cut it on Sam first.
That's crazy.
It was started with Sam, and that's how I ended up meeting him. I'm 18 years old at the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know him from the, you know what I'm saying, from the records he had before. And I'm thinking, okay, well, this is gonna be like my first, because with that record, we knew it was gonna be somebody's single. You know what I mean? Like from the rip, when we wrote the record, we're like, this is gonna be a single. So I'm like, okay, because I had like 2 placements, but they weren't singles. But I'm like, this is gonna be a single, and it was Sam Salter was the first person to cut that record.
Yes, sir. But that's just indicative of that spirit, that time. But you know, it all spawned from that same circle. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all that same circle. And how I even got to Atlanta was, I was working with this group Black Girl that was down there in Atlanta, but they used to sing backgrounds. The girl Tyvee Turman used to sing backgrounds and demos for LA and Babyface. And they were working on stuff, and they were coming out here working with us, because Allison from RCA, I don't want to mess up her last name because I can't remember it, but she's remarried, so I don't want to put it out there wrong. But it's Allison. I just did the Something We Could Feel record with Lainey. Lainey just did that record with R&B and Tamar, and so that's the same relationship. Long story short, that's how I met LA. That's what really connected. It was the background singer. It was her singing backgrounds and me producing her, and her coming back on. It's these producers in LA that you got to meet LA. And so LA is like, all right, cool, bet. It comes out here, we meet at Four Seasons on Doheny.
Of course.
Yeah, why not?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
LA.
You gotta
of course,
understand.
that's where you meet LA.
Was it brunch?
Yeah.
No. See, you gotta understand.
This is just a regular day for
a
LA.
regular day for
LA
LA,
gonna be
yeah.
at the Four
Listen,
Seasons.
and I'm
with Rich or
not
something.
brunch material. So let me be clear. This meeting happens in a car.
Oh shit.
This meeting happens in a car, and we don't have the ability to record because recording is so expensive. Everything is $3,000 a day. Getting a piece of tape is $500 or $400 a day. So we're singing every last record we got on the spot.
Oh shit.
Hold on, here go one.
Wait, what?
All we got is the beats.
This is how you're playing your demo?
Yes.
But no, we're
You're the demo?
we're walking around in LA. We're singing our songs on the spot. Me and Sean, this is how. And so that led us. He was like, "Oh, y'all are crazy."
Yeah.
And we ended up doing this song called Little Something on a group called Few Good Men.
You good? Yeah.
We go down there, and I just fall in love with Atlanta. The studio, Bobby Brown's studio, was called Boss Town now,
Town.
which is now Stankonia.
Yeah.
And we go down there, cut this record that sounds like an absolute missile at the time. Like, you know, we're starting to make better records at this point. But LA, he just believed in us. Like, you know, he believed from the very beginning. And to this day, when they look at Sony, when they look at Sessions, the stuff that I show online, the building, LA got us that building to move to Atlanta in order to sign us.
So the building came with it.
It didn't come with it because we didn't want to be signed. And
Okay.
Mark didn't want us to sign. So Mark at the time was just like, and Mark was very young, so he's just going toe to toe. And this is like LA has had 100 hits. It's LA and Babyface, right?
Of course.
But somehow he gets the audacity. He's just like, look, they don't want to be signed, but they do want to come to Atlanta. He's like, but if you give us the money, because LA had offered us a bunch of like cars and a mansion and shit. And Mark was like, nah, give us the money. We're going to build a studio and we're going to pay you back, but we're never going to be exclusive. We're never going to be exclusive. And what ended up happening was...
Oh, big bro. Shout out
Yeah.
Mark, man.
Yeah, Mark is here. He's right out there. Like and that single negotiation from my management at that time changed everything. Not only, I mean, the biggest thing that I think it changed is that it allowed me to build a relationship with LA that was always built in business, real business.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Not, oh, he took the cars and he took the house.
Right.
No, it's
Right.
like, no, they wanted that from the beginning. So from that point, when he started giving it to us, we never had to look back, and we never had to feel like we weren't in the ownership position ever again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because someone had already given us ownership
Right.
of whether it was buildings, publishing, you know. So after we got free from the original publishing, I haven't had to sign a publishing deal, you know, since that time, you know, from the standpoint of really understanding like, hey, we're doing something that's unique, that's special. And ultimately, I think it's that singular move that let me know, because before that we were kind of, I would say, we were figuring it out. But it was that move right there in particular that I think let me know that I knew and I know that I have the best manager in the world. And it wasn't that he was my brother. And I was like, this shit is crazy. And that move, when you have equity, you build something, you buy something.
Right.
Like, the building is worth a lot of money. We didn't pay what it's worth, but it's like, it's a, you know, that kind of thing can cement your life.
Yep.
You know, having an asset, you know, 15, 20,000 square foot asset can cement your life at 19 years old. Like, I've had that building. I've been in that building for 30 years.
Good
Over
Lord.
30 years. Every record I've ever made. Like,
You in that building now?
yes.
It's still this building, but Sony is renting it. Yeah.
Sony's renting 5,000, 6,000 square feet of it.
Yeah, we
And
still
then-
got 10 more thousand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
Plus,
other-
if you need something.
and then-
Leftover
and the
square
other-
footage.
And then the other part is Sessions Atlanta. And so that's where we do all our music events and listening sessions. And
Crazy. We've never been
You know.
invited there. Tank, have you been there?
I haven't been in
I haven't been there. This is crazy,
Today's
brother.
gonna change all that though.
Today,
'Cause I just found out-
today.
Yeah.
I'm part of
There's-
the Hall of Fame conversation.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah, there's no way that y'all should come to Atlanta and record any place else other than
I'll be
Sessions
there.
Atlanta.
I'll be there next week. I'll be
They
there
gonna
on
be
the
like,
15th.
they be like, Jay, what are you doing here? What Tricky just said.
Jay just said, come by.
Yeah, y'all come on through.
He told me to pick up a key, man.
You know,
He said y'all got an extra 1,000 square foot that I can hang out in.
And a couch.
And a couch.
And a couch.
I ain't getting no hotel neither.
I ain't sleeping
Y'all
on no
crazy.
bed.
I'm not above.
I need
I'm not
Hall of
above
Fame.
sleeping on the couch.
I need a couch.
Nah, it's a lot harder to get in nowadays. You won't be able to do that. But,
Yeah,
but,
say no.
I'll put your name on the list.
the
You'll
bio-
get
Oh,
through. No, I gotta say they don't play down there because honestly, we really just we specialize in privacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
We specialize in privacy. Our clients do not want to be known.
Yeah.
And we don't show you anything. I show you what I do.
So I won't be there.
Yeah, no, you'll
So
be there.
No, I know.
You'll
will.
be there.
No,
It's just
I'm
we
telling
won't be
the people-
showing anything
I'm
unless
telling the
you want
people-
it to be
I'm
seen.
telling the people that I'm not there, but I'm there.
okay.
So I won't be there.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
And Tank won't be there either.
we keep it
Two
quiet.
girls, we won't be there.
You crazy. He got the hook.
He ain't go. He never
found the hook.
He never gonna leave that first apartment you
Yeah.
had. We just
It was great. It was just it's a great setup. Like that right there.
It's not as it wasn't as great as you think. No, it wasn't as great as you think.
How do you get to Who Dat? How do you get to that record? Because I've heard so many of your records.
Yes.
And
Well,
I
you
would have never.
you want to know the truth?
Yes.
I was frustrated. Because I'm in Atlanta. For time preference, all this story is great. But what's going on around me is what about your friends? It's Jermaine.
Going crazy.
It's Waterfall. It's
Yeah.
the biggest records
That's
in the
what
world.
you're up against once you get to
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing and hearing things. The first night I get there, I hear "Ain't No Thing But a Chicken Wing" by Outkast. They in the studio in LA's basement. That's my introduction to Atlanta. And then you walk over here and Dallas is working on "What About Your Friends?" And I don't know, just as a point of reference, I don't know when the last time you listened to that song, but do yourself a favor and listen to that song and remember that was my introduction to Atlanta.
Interesting like
Yeah.
that.
Okay? And so, and then there's Jermaine. But I knew Jermaine because now Crisscross is out. Before Jermaine left, maybe before I came there, Jermaine and I had actually produced. We did a song with Crisscross and Immature together on the Bebe's Kids soundtrack out here. So I knew Jermaine. So when I got to Atlanta for the first time on my recruiting trip, because it used to be like college down there, Jermaine was the person that picked me up and took me to his studio, which was at his mom's house. And I'm just like, man, look at all these cars and motorcycles and stuff he got. And I'm just like, I mean, like I said, and I'm coming from out here, and it's Jermaine, and then I go to LA's house and Country Club of the South at the time, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
I'm moving.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I'm
there's no question. And so the frustration, because I hadn't found a music identity, because I'm from the Midwest, and I think it's an advantage, but it's also a disadvantage, right?
There's no defining sound.
Right. And so I didn't have a defining sound. I knew how to make records, but I didn't have a defining sound. And Who Dat was made because I was like, man, this rap shit is easy. I could do rap in my sleep. And so one night, I just came back to the studio, and I was like, I'm going to make some rap songs. That was the first one I made. It was a joke to start. It was me and my boy DeAndre Davis and Tab. We came back from the strip club. I think we were probably drinking or whatever. Brought a whole bunch of people back to the studio. I let everybody that was at the studio rap on the song. We came up with the hook. Me, Dre, let's us on the hook. I let everybody that was at the studio get a verse. The song had 15 verses on it. Jason Weaver was on the song. Whoever was at the club. And I was like, okay, this. I don't know how it went from a joke to you start to resent it. Like, you resent it because I'm not getting the attention that I want for myself. Salter, we doing strings, we doing organs, we doing everything. But this song is making the people go crazy. But it's not JT Money and Soleil ain't on it yet. It's just people. But I got the hook. You know what I mean? I just got the hook. And so, my mind is kind of, I don't remember like super details, but I know that Tab brought me Soleil,
Okay.
and Tony Mercedes had JT Money, and I can't remember whose idea it was to get them involved or how I got involved. They got on the song, cut all the rest of the mess away, and then Tony Mercedes and Dallas heard the song. They got involved with the song.
Yeah.
They got involved with the song after the fact that I went everywhere making the rounds trying to get the song trying to get somebody to put the song out. And they was like,
So you were shopping the record.
Yeah, I was like, this
but with them,
they were like, this shit's whack. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, they didn't like it. And so nobody really liked it. And so it ended up in the independent space. And it was just one of those things. I remember the record came out in December, and I didn't really know how records work, but I hadn't, nothing was happening as far as I was concerned. Like, I wasn't here in the club when I was going. And next thing I knew, that summer, that thing just took a turn. And I had never felt anything like that from the standpoint of just like an impact record. And I realized, I started to realize, like, that was, I guess, when I realized that it's not about what I want. It's about what the people want. And from that standpoint, that was the turning point, I think, in me really understanding how to make records differently, going from making music and writing songs and going through the motions, but really looking for impact. And so that really changed my life, because that's when I realized that, people always think, oh, you got to have the money. You got to have the money. They didn't have the money. The Janet Jackson record and Busta Rhymes Wannabe record out with Delight at the time as the producer, like making all those crazy records. They had the $2 million video. They had all that. That was a #1 record on all formats.
Wow.
Rap song of the year, #1 R&B, #2 pop. Like, you know what I mean? Like it, and I was like, oh, and that kind of became my motivating factor. Is like, if I have a hit record. Can it be #1 on all the charts at the same time? And so every record that we've ever had at RedZone, I think what we do that's different than everybody is that even if it's Break My Soul went #1 rap too. Like, it was the #1 hip hop record, #1 dance record, #1 pop record, #1 R&B record. Like, whatever it was, whether it was Umbrella, any record, like
break out the champagne.
Like,
if it's Break My Soul, if it's Umbrella, if it's Baby,
Baby wasn't a hit though.
What?
Baby wasn't a hit.
Oh, okay.
Baby became a hit.
Okay, I'm about to say. Okay, became a hit.
Baby was a hit. Baby was a radio fail. It just sold 17 million or 16 million, however many it sold. You know what? But it never charted because there's no kid.
Did you hear what he just said? Or whatever. 16, 17, or whatever
I don't know where it stopped.
It hasn't.
But I mean, because it's generational. Like, every kid finds it somehow. And so, it's a hit now. It feels like a hit now, but it was very much not in the moment. Was not like some breakout.
You mean in terms of chart position, it wasn't a hit?
It did. I don't even know. Yeah, it didn't do nothing on the radio. You never heard Baby on the radio.
I just heard it so much. I don't know where I heard it.
You heard
it,
and
it's one of those records where you don't know where you heard it. But we have kids too, though.
They have a rule. They don't play kids on the radio.
Impact record, though. How about hit from Impact?
Yeah, of course. But he wasn't coming from Disney. Let's see, all those other people, Britney and all them, they come from Disney. He just came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
And so
for sure.
They like, adult radio wasn't, they were like, we're not playing this. And so it was never on radio. It just kept growing. It was, first record to 1 billion on YouTube, first one to 2 billion on YouTube. Like, it was breaking records. That's how I knew that YouTube wasn't where I wanted my records to be, because there was no check that ever came with it.
That was early, huh?
Yeah, I figured that out because I was like, this is the YouTube, this is the YouTube
Where's
money?
the money?
No, like, I'll take #7. On the radio, on the chart, over 1 billion streams, over however many billion.
Wow.
Blue Cantrell.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I did many a show with Blue.
Yes.
That was
a singing fool.
Different.
Yes.
What made you go there?
Once again, that's Tab. Most people don't know, like, the relationship that I have with Tab is he finds stuff. Like, it's the same person that brought me Frank Ocean. Like, Blue was just a voice. She was a voice that was incredible, because she had jazz, gospel, she had scats, she had power, she had falsetto, she had lows, she had highs, and she just knew how to work at all. And that whole situation happened. Her sister, I believe, got in a car accident, and she came to Atlanta because she was up from New Jersey or New York or something. And Tab, and I think another guy that I work with named Javon Sims brought her in. Like, my mind be like on certain things, I just can't recall it that much. But I ended up with her. She came to the studio, and I just fell in love with her voice. And we did this record called "Till I'm Gone," off of her first record. And we spent the next 7 days. We spent the next 7 days basically just making records. And by the time we got done, we had everything that's on the first album except for "Hit 'Em Up Style."
Mm-hmm.
I had just done "Who Dat" for Dallas. He had just broke that record for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just signed an artist. I took her over there. He wrote "Hit 'Em Up Style."
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
Because that track is just
yeah,
different.
super, super crazy. Like, and I mean, Dallas. Dallas is a fool. He's a complete fool.
Crazy.
You know, Dallas is one of the scariest producers I ever been around. It's crazy that we are friends now, but I legit used to be like, scared of him. Like, producers used to be scary. You know what I mean? Like, you go watch Rodney Jerkins work back in the day, you'll question your life.
Period.
Do we have the same job?
Yeah. Do we have the same job?
Like, are we fighting for the same thing? They'll change your life.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's why I don't like to watch people work up close like that, because it can fuck you up watching, like, I'm committed to getting it right. I don't get it right at first all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to win more than most people, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you see somebody go from soup to nuts, and like, what the fuck just happened here?
Right.
And I've witnessed that stuff, and I'll just be like, I don't want to play that game. I think it's still part of the reason why I think I'm not like the best collaborator, because I've just seen shit that I'm like, I don't ever want to see that again, because it's like, it's intimidating. But with that being said, the blues stuff was just magic.
Yeah.
When it happens, those types of things, when it happens quickly.
That's track, yeah.
And once again, at that time, LA was leaving LaFace. He had just exited.
Mm-hmm.
New chairman at Arista Records, just taking Clive Davis's job. We had just done the No Scrubs record because Shakespeare was our producer. Mark was managing him. He had just done the No Scrubs record, which Dallas was the executive producer of. All those TLC records. So there's synergy and friendship just building in projects. But we're just friends, like just exchanging songs back and forth to each other. And so we go to our friend in LA. Check this out. You know what I mean? And Blue Cantrell was his first signing.
At Arista.
At Arista.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure in number one pop, number one R&B, number one everything across the world.
Once again.
Yeah.
Once again.
And so, that's the, I think it's something in the water to that, or I should say in our case, in the Red Clay. They taught us that. Atlanta taught us that. Jermaine taught us that. Like, Jermaine's influence on music let me know that audio records could be big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what he did, if he did a slow song, he would give you "Let's Get Married," and then he would give you a remix that would take over the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever the record was, it's like that was the expectation from Atlanta, because we don't have no friends. We are outsiders. We don't have no checks. We have to write fucking smashes to get in. Yeah. We don't go up to. We don't have no. There's no place to get a check in Atlanta. All we got is studios. This ain't Nashville. It ain't Miami, and it ain't LA. Right? And it ain't New York. Yeah. So all we have is the smash game.
Right.
That's how we became the reference CD to the most things that people are usually trying to chase, I believe. Because we have to have We Belong Together. We have to have Creep. We have to have Girls Run the World. You know what I'm saying? Love on Top. That's the price of entry down there. And so when you don't have one, you just keep going until you get one. But I've never seen nobody not get one. They'll figure it out.
A lot of hits
You
that
just
came
named
out of
it.
there.
You just boy.
Man.
Boy, you just named some records.
That's
too.
my city.
How? And you said you've been there. You said 30 years now.
I moved there in '95. You know, I've moved back and forth. I've never moved from Atlanta, but I believe there's always a time to be in LA.
Mm-hmm.
This is the entertainment capital of the world. Ain't nothing you can do about that. You know, but there is a time to be here and there's a time to go home.
Yeah.
And I was out here and checked some things off the boxes. You know, I wanted to get into movies and did burlesque and some stuff with Christina Aguilera and did the Think Like a Man and all those like film productions and scoring and all that. And then it was time to figure out, because I was losing my voice a little bit, like, what do I sound like? You know, what do I sound like? And I had to go back to Atlanta to figure out what I sound like again.
Got you.
So while you're in Atlanta, is that when Tab brings you Frank Ocean? Or at this point, he's not Frank Ocean yet. He's Lonnie.
Yeah, he brought him out here because I was at the Boom Boom Room. You know, I locked that place out for some time when we were really out here, and was doing a bunch of stuff, doing Mariah and some other stuff. And Mark and Tab brought him through because they wanted me to write with him. And I was working with Dream at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Dream, it seems very natural now, but at the time it was very hard it was capturing his essence of his songs without making the artist feel like it's their song, but capturing the essence is a challenging job because his voice sits in the middle of people's voices. Mm-hmm. And so Frank had the same thing going on. And I was like, the hell, I don't want to spend this time doing this, because he had such a unique, amazing tone and perspective and everything. And ultimately, I said, look, bro, in real life terms, I love what you do. These songs that you just played me are incredible. But I was like, I got no interest in writing with you. But if you'll be an artist, then I'll be interested.
So he didn't come to you as an artist? Purely as a songwriter?
Yeah, he came as a songwriter.
And you're like,
yeah,
I'll do it if you're an artist.
Yeah, and he was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I'll do it. And, I mean, we was in a doorway, like that over there. Like, this conversation's happening in a doorway. And he's like, I'll do it. And then, like, a couple minutes go by and, you know, whatever, we're talking. And he's like, the only thing is, he's like, and you got to understand, I've heard some smashes from this dude. Like, records that you would be like Bruno Mars level, right? Because he's writing for other people. He's writing to win. Like, he's writing for the industry. He said, okay, I'll be your artist, but the only thing is, I hate every song I've ever written. And meaning, those weren't going to be his songs. And from that point,
okay.
The birth of Frank Ocean, I think, in his mind happened, and that sound that he created, that's his sound.
That's his sound.
Yes.
That's his sound.
Yeah.
Like, and he created that. Like, you know, that doesn't have a whole lot to do with me other than creating and fostering the right stewardship, if you will.
Yeah.
I produced Novocaine.
It's one of my favorite records in the world.
The breakout single. You know, you still need the sauce, what you don't know. Mm-hmm. But ever since then and everything since then, it's pretty big. After Nostalgia Ultra, the original mixtape, like, we went crazy with that thing, just getting it to everybody. We were passing out every CD. If I was on a flight with you, you were gonna get it.
Yeah.
We were having listening party after
I
listening
forgot who
party.
gave me the CD, but I still have it somewhere.
It was a girl, trust me.
Oh, that was the plan?
It was a girl. If you got a Frank Ocean CD, it came from a girl, and she was bad.
You know.
I love that.
Yeah, let's skip over that part. Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's just my life.
I like
But
Go ahead.
But yeah, amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Can we talk about the Tricky and Dream
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
relationship?
Yes.
Because that is it's fucking magic.
Yes.
It's magic. How?
Man, I think what it is, right, that makes us have a real magic, I think we value two different things within the songwriting and production process. And I think the rub of our influences and the rub of our value, what we value at our core, creates next level shit. You know, like Dream is very much into lyrics, storytelling. He listens to country music. He listens to old music all the time, like Otis Redding and Motown, and got a lot of crazy influences. And I am a Quincy Jones, David Foster, Teddy Riley, L.A. and Babyface. Like,
so that marriage,
the marriage of his ability to write songs, like really write and craft from a lyrical connection, mixed with somebody who's obsessed about finishing and about sonics and about how things get recorded. Like, I'm like microphones, mic placement, all these things. Like, all the
stuff you were investing in.
All the stuff. Like, that's why I have so many studios and stuff. Like, it's like that stuff matters. I believe that's why we've been successful. You can't polish a turd, obviously, but if we get what we want, I want to get it all, you know. And meaning, if we got the special song, I don't want it recorded on the wrong microphone, because I'm just like, we probably not gonna win the Grammy, because I know what they really based on. Like, when you sit in those rooms and you play it, and you be like, yeah, that sounds good relative to the sound that you've made. But now you're sitting in front of people like me. It's a recording academy. And you don't change the volume when you're listening to it, and your volume just went way down. So you think you don't know the difference between this mix engineer and that mix engineer. But when you sit in front of a room of people who really know,
right?
Like, they're like, oh,
you are spitting.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen,
right now, super game.
Take notes, please.
Super
take notes.
game.
Instead of
now.
saying they just hating on me,
man,
because they love that one.
They don't know what they're, you know, a lot of people want a Grammy. They just don't know.
It's the recording.
They don't know what they're based
Academy.
on. Yeah.
What does your recording sound like?
Yeah, it's not a popularity game. If it was a popularity game, Britney Spears would have them, right? She don't have none. You know, there's a lot of people that don't have them.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's a recording, you know, but when you look at who has them, they value it. But it's always a lot of the same people. Like, if you look at somebody like Salaam Remi, you go back and go, well, the guy that did Lauryn Hill is the same guy that did Amy Winehouse. Like, you know, the same guy, Rick Rubin, the same guy that did the Dixie Chicks is the same guy that's doing Jay-Z. They're valuing. Now, there's people that's benefiting from things that's why you have to have a team. You got to have, like, you may not know. Like, Ty Dolla $ign just came over and played me some records the other day. I was like, who recorded this? Because whoever did, they get it. I'm like, this is meant to be respected, you know, in a different way. And so you can hear it when people know what they're doing. And, you know, in a world where everyone can do it, yes, you do have a really good relative sound to what it is that your ear is listening to. But when I have to compare you to the best of the best for recording, that's kind of that's where the rubber meets the road a little bit.
What's your first, or you guys' first hit together?
Me and
Dream.
It was Umbrella, right?
Is that your first hit together? Umbrella?
That's like one of the first songs we ever wrote together.
Oh, you see?
Really?
We had never really wrote, like...
Good Lord.
Like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was Umbrella, right? Yeah. Everything happened after Umbrella. Like...
But I didn't know if you guys had another record that...
No, because what happened was, when Dream was developed by Laney, like, myself, like, we all come from Laney, like, that school of, like, teaching of the craft, right? And so Laney signed Dream to a publishing deal. Okay. And then they had stopped working together for a while. Like, they had stopped working. Dream kind of went off on his own. They did an album. He had gone and done an album in Japan, and he came back. He's like, man, I want to play you something. And he played me this album that he had done on Nivea. And I was like, man, these songs are really good. Because I never really, like, was, like, tapped in, because at this time, RedZone was pretty crazy, because we had Rico Love and the Corner Boys in the back. We had P. Magnet in my room. We had Esther Dean in the other room. We had Tyo Cruz.
Golly,
so I had everybody there. And Dream was like kind of like the new kid on the block. He wasn't like, he's not the type to hang around. Okay. He's not he wants to come in, he wants to do what he's got to do, and he's gonna dip. Like he's not like a
Social butterfly.
yeah, he just don't hang like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so he's always been like, whether it's going to a movie or interested in something of fashion, he's just interesting like that. Like Dream does a lot of things.
He
And
lives
so-
his life beyond music.
yeah, for sure. Like I think that's where a lot of the inspiration comes from. And so, there was a time when I was just kind of like, I was making these incredible records and I had incredible writers around, and I was like, hey guys, like, because I started not getting placements, but this is the blessing in disguise. But because now I'm starting to find my sound. But when you find a sound, sometimes there ain't no customers, right? And so I had like started making records that were hit records like Who Dat, like one of one type things. But like I had mastered the art of bullshit R&B as a producer of getting cuts.
Bullshit R&B.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
You knew how to place records.
yeah, anybody can place a record if you go do what the people is looking for. But that's
Yeah.
the difference between making hits and that. You can't be making something that sounds like something that somebody else did.
Yeah.
Like, and so your thought is gonna have to be an original one in order for you to make a name for yourself.
But it might get dry.
Yeah, it'll get dry.
Yeah.
And if you're in it long enough, it'll get dry several times.
Mm-hmm.
But all that just comes with it. But ultimately, when we were like trying to find our niche, or I was trying to get more songs that I could get money for, because I got overhead, but I'm getting incredible stuff, and I got this incredible energy going on around
You got to
me.
pay the team.
But I don't have I'm not getting the cuts. Long story short, kind of asked people to start calling before they come. Everybody got offended pretty much. Like, this is like around Christmas time. Like everybody was like, okay, cool, you on some bullshit. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, what you mean call before you come?
Call to the studio. Like you can't just pull up.
Because people used to just be pulling
They
up.
would just pull up. This is before the gates and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
they could just pull up. And ultimately, we're writing songs, but I got artists in, but I'm not getting what I need. And so Dream was the only person that wasn't offended. And he came. And it was our very first time that we had ever been alone. Simultaneously, while this is going on, because I had done the Britney Spears and the Zone album, where I was expected to have a lot of success because I was pretty much the executive producer of it.
Okay.
And then we got a song from Bloodshot and Avant that I fought for to get on the album, but that song was toxic.
Okay.
Toxic dwarfs my whole Britney Spears life, right? And so it's like that was all a whole thing. So I had the first single with Britney and Madonna. They kissed on American
Okay,
Music
yeah,
Awards.
yeah.
I'm supposed to have all this hype, but this song comes out and steals the show. Long story short, now Dream is the person that comes to the studio. And it's really one of the first times that we really got a chance to just be, we're in the building alone, and simultaneously, because I'm not able to pay the engineers that are my top engineers, because at this time, day rates is probably, $12, $15, $1,600 a day for an engineer. And I'm doing 3 sessions a day, right? Like in 3 different rooms all the time. And so that's how Kook re-enters the picture. And so while Kook is coming back, because Kook and I hadn't worked together since I had left California, I'm like, Kook, these guys are killing me, man. I need my family. I need somebody to come down here and record and help me pull this together. And he came down, and and we spent time, and we just kind of got back in our groove. And during this time, it's the Christmas time. It's very slow. Nobody's in the building. And me and Kook are like hooking up the equipment. He's rewiring the room. Kook is really like OCD with this kind of stuff. So he's wiring everything up, making sure it sounds great and all this stuff. And he's like, man, you messing with this Logic stuff at all, man? Like, he's like, I ain't been messing with this, but, this stuff is pretty cool. They got some cool loops. So we're putting up the equipment and everything, right? And Dream's like, can I come through? I'm like, yeah, come through. Dream comes through, and Kook, I don't know how this part happens, but we're trying to test the mic. We're trying to get the mic tested.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing around with Logic. do 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 part and playing like this, playing the bass on the left. And Coop's got the loop. Mind you, I've never seen Dream record before. Never.
Okay.
I've only heard him record. And at this time, back in these days, we always used to sit down and write the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I knew that he was a ball of energy and always had things that sounded whatever. But most of the time, because like I said, his personality was like, I did this and he would leave. Me being this smart guy, or Laney in certain cases, they're going back going, now let's get the writers in here to put the words to the energy, right? So this is one of the first times that I ever hear Dream write lyrics. We're testing the equipment, right? We're recording straight down. Kook hits the loop. I'm playing the keys live, and Dream is writing the song on the spot. That's the umbrella that everybody heard. That was the first thing.
He pretty much freestyled that record.
I thought that.
Okay.
Damn, it got me a little emotional.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Take your time, brother.
So it's the three of us in that room, and that's what came out. And then the next day, Suffocate. And then the next day, like, it just,
Yeah.
like, it just kept happening. And it, like, I mean, we used to write songs, like, every day, you know? And I think that one was just like, what happened? And so, ultimately, after we write that song, because, like I said, the part that's going on in the building is that now instead of it just being me, I have other people in the building. I brought in some other people. And so, to help me pay rent and keep up with stuff.
Yeah.
So, I've brought in Jazzy Faye. Jazzy Faye is in now.
Yeah.
TA is in.
Okay.
TA has a producer named Los. LOS, right?
Uh-huh.
Jazzy, this is how Just Fine and me and Jazzy do Just Fine, and Los does Bed, and all now everybody's coming back. But Dream and I, we've kind of locked in, and I'm like, this dude is incredible. And so at that point, I was like, this has to kind of be about Dream. Like, we had all these other writers and different things going on. And it all worked out. It's a beautiful story today. But the truth of the matter is we had to check into Dream in a different way. And that affected Esther Dean, you know, and that's how Esther and Polo became so locked in, because I'm like, this right here, I haven't seen this.
Right.
I haven't seen
This is what I'm doing every day
this.
now.
Yeah. And so that just became the focal point for real. And so ultimately, you know, we had this song. It was around this time. We were cold as ice. Like I said, the Britney Spears thing is like being really held against me. 'Cause that's like the pinnacle. Like, if you don't get the hit with Britney, it's like it's a gift and a curse to get opportunities that are big, because if they don't work, it's like directing Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it tanking.
Right.
And so it's like, so you're coming off of that thing, and ultimately, like, I'm out now. I'm having Jazzy send the record, going, send this to Karen Clark. He's talking to Mark. He's like, but whatever you do, don't tell LA that Tricky produced it. I'm like, don't tell him that I did it. Because LA, you know, that's my friend. Like, and I could say, like, LA, I love you to death, but he's hot and cold. He likes hits. And when he don't...
Where's the hit?
And if you don't have them...
Where's the hit?
It's like, ultimately, it's like, it kind of goes away. You know, not the relationship, but the access. You know, and so at that point, it was really about, like, him just hearing the song for the song. And Jazzy sent it, Mark sent it, they both sent it to Karen Kwok. Karen was kind of going crazy over it, I believe. And then she played it for LA. LA loved it. And as they say, the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
And that led to us being able to, like I said, we were building Insular. So now I got this amazing vocal producer and Kook, and and now the thing got smaller.
You built more of a team.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now we're ultimately like, we're kind of given the opportunity to, however it ended up happening, like people are hearing Bed, right? And Dream's voice is on Bed. And if you ever heard Dream's original version of Bed, it's just like the biggest smash ever. Like,
Yes.
no shade to Jay Holiday, but it was just like a runaway train, right? And it's like,
You just knew what that was.
it's probably like the records that you had, Like Them Girls, where you just like, this somebody's single, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so now it's like, that's what led to Dream becoming an artist. Because like I said, at this time, it's like, there's not that many voices out there. So you like, is this for Akon or who?
Right.
Like, you know what I
And
mean?
he has a very
And so-
distinct voice.
Yeah.
And so when we got to do Love Hate, that was kind of like,
I still can't get away from that album, bro. Bro, Love Hate is one of those albums, man, where it don't matter if it's you and the homies or you and your girl.
Yeah.
This album plays through. Because, we all do music. There's certain albums where you're like, yeah, this me and my girl just ride to this. And there's certain albums where it's like, yeah, me and the homies, we ride this. Y'all covered ground. Love Hate is special, bro. I just wanted to tell you that.
thank you. I
And
believe
when
that.
Dream sits down with us, I'm going to tell him that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Hate, bro, is a generational album.
I think so too.
So please proceed, bro. I had to tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, that album changed our life. I think just making it led us to another level of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically just the four of us, him, myself, Los, engineer named Tech, that was the recording engineer, and then Dave Pensado and Jason.
Yeah.
And that's all the hands that touch that project. It was just, it was magic. And what people don't, I see people always want to segue their albums, but I don't think what people understand is that we created the album in the same session. You can't do it after the fact. The session was that long. We wrote the songs in order. It could not be changed.
What?
Oh, shit.
We could not. It was one session. So we were automating the key changes and everything, like every aspect of that. And that's why I say Tech is an important part of that, because Tech was the most technical, smartest engineer that I thought I could get my hands on. That really, when I was like, we got to do something crazy, and I need somebody that's like next level.
He spoke your language.
I didn't know I didn't know what language I needed to speak, but I knew I needed somebody that had spent a lot of time messing with stuff.
Yeah.
Messing with stuff.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to mess with stuff,
seeing
and
what
that's
stuff
what
do.
what led me to Dave Pensado and Jason. It's like I knew who mixed like what, right? I had been doing records, and I knew how to send a mix to one of the guys and get back a really good version of what I got. But I was looking for somebody and for people to add layers.
You did it. Y'all did it.
And so, that one was amazing. That's my crown jewel of everything that I've done, as far as like being the most proud of as a whole album.
Yeah.
Do you think,
or been part of, I should say.
do you think, and I know this is going to be a tough question. I know it's going to be a tough question. But do you think you get enough credit as an executive?
I don't know. It's not credit isn't something that I've really seeked.
Or just recognize that.
But
You know what I mean?
but validation, I think, is something that can happen without credit.
Okay.
Sometimes I still feel invalidated.
Okay. And I asked that because we going down the line.
Yeah.
And you were a part of a lot of new artists becoming staples and icons and people that we look to as like, oh, this is amazing. Wait, it just keeps going back to Tricky Stewart.
Yep.
Hey,
It finds its way back.
yeah, I think
Breaking artists is difficult.
Man.
that's what I like to do.
Extremely difficult.
That's what I like to do, and it's been part of the. I just think it's like, I have two parts of the shit. Like I got the business shit mind, and I have the creative mind.
Yeah.
I've always looked at it like towers, the skyline, like being part of Rihanna's skyline. There was no Bieber before there was us. There was no Frank Ocean. Like Dream, like whatever it is. Like I didn't join the careers. I helped make them.
Yes.
Right? And so it's like that. I spend my time working with the artists that are developing because not that I want the credit. I do want the credit internally.
Okay.
Like, because that's the way that I can challenge myself. I believe most can do a good job working on Beyonce's 7th album if you get the call.
Yeah.
But to do what Rich Harrison did, I think it's completely different. And so,
Shout out to Rich Harrison.
yeah. And so I think to do that is where I like to live my life as a creative. And if it doesn't tie me all the way through, I haven't worked with Bieber since I did one time, did Baby, and Kook executive produced his Christmas albums, and we did all that, and I haven't worked with him since. But I would rather be at that part of the story than be on the story right now, even with whatever the latest single is that he's going to the Grammys for. Like, I would rather have that moment and be connected to that mentally for me.
Yeah, you're a person.
Of going,
You're the reason.
yeah,
Part of the
not that I'm the reason, that I'm
You're
part
part
of
Part of it.
the eye of discovery. I believe you have to know which one is right for you. There's a lot of artists, and I try to pick the ones that are right for me
Yeah.
and right for us.
Well, you've done an amazing job, my brother,
Thank you.
of picking and choosing. Because oh man, so many careers have been launched.
It's my favorite part. That's the part that still has me like the most motivated. That's why I feel like if I was going in to work on, the same stuff or just like a continuation, that wouldn't have me with the mindset and the spirit that I have. But it's like, it's the relationships that I've had and, with Tyla and just going to Africa, introducing her to Believe and, just helping her find that sound, and it's what her and Sammy Sosa and what Water turned into and that whole movement. And really, like, Zeke put me in that play and he was like, look, like Zeke was like, I don't even know if I want you to produce. I just need you to figure it out.
Huh.
Just go to Africa. He's like, I got a house. I got all the dopest producers in Africa coming. Just figure it out. Just figure it out. And I went over there and fell in love with her team, Colin from the African agency and everybody. And, it's just, we figured it out. And as you can see, it's continuing.
It's massive.
It's continuing to figure itself out. And now they got it and they run. But I did my part.
You did your part.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think also it's about mindset, right? There's so many people that get bitter because they think just because you do something with somebody one time that you're supposed to call you back. It's not. Listen, just do your part.
That's it.
Do your part.
it.
I like development. I can't look at, if I write Umbrella, I can't be looking at you going, damn, she got an umbrella deal. No, she's she's
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You don't count other people's money.
Yeah, like, man, like, what part do you like?
She ain't even bring me one
I
umbrella.
don't even got one of them umbrellas.
Umbrella deal ain't bring me no umbrella.
Yeah. Like, I like the part. I like the part that we've played.
Yeah.
And I'll play it better by design as I get older. Like, I do realize that there's an opportunity, and I am going into the publishing game this year. I had left publishing alone for a while just because, at the end of the day, it's you're taking on people's lives, and I know how seriously I take that, and it's a focus.
Right.
And I want to focus on having and create a place for people that need to be advocated for somebody that's going to scream your name at the top of their lungs, doesn't need anybody else's validation. I didn't need anybody's validation to tell me that the people that I picked were it.
Yeah.
I just had to keep saying that they were, keep putting them in environments to flourish, and I feel like I can do that better than anybody in the world. I don't know that I've let anybody know from an executive standpoint that that's what I want to do, but I think that's the next move for us, is doing it for real, not just doing it because I'm a producer and a vehicle for it, but actually go, you know what, I'm going to try to identify the next ones and don't give them the same personality that I have, which is insular, behind the door, these people like to collaborate, really help them get into the rooms that they really want to get into.
Yes.
And I think I have enough favor throughout the industry and relationships to give some people some advantages in that way so that they can be heard at the highest levels. And so in 2026 and beyond, I think that's what myself, Mark, and Judy will be doing in a real way. Because it has been a little bit,
You've announced it today.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, here it is. It'll be announced soon, but we're really focusing on it. We've changed our company structure to get in position. You have to be in the positions that you have to be in, and so I know I'm like behind the scenes, but as if you guys watch my social media, I'm doing a lot more socials.
I see you, man.
Yeah, I'm
buddy.
I'm coming out. I'm just. You have to tell your story. It's like
Yep.
We'll all, as great as the Songwriters Hall of Fame is, and all that. Listen, we'll all be forgotten. Truthfully, it's why I speak about Lil Silas so much because, Lil has not been, you talk about not being given credit. He has not been given the credit for any heartbreak and for Bobby Brown and for LA and Face and Jam and Lewis and just all that whole MCA and Andre Harrell and those guys at MCA. The MCA that we know, they now call Universal, but it's really built off of the black music that came from 777 Lancashire Road right here.
I mean, because let's be honest, before Lil really got in position to do what Lil ended up doing, it was, throughout the industry called the music cemetery of America.
Yep.
That was like a term. Because when we did our deal there, people were like, wait, y'all signed to the music cemetery?
Yep.
They're like, no. Lil Silas over there cracking. He getting this thing going.
Wow.
And black music
Jody
was
Watley,
the push.
Jody Watley, Pebbles, BBD, the things that you hear today. When you hear Poison, just know that happened.
Yeah,
like that ain't some novelty record.
Come on, Spider-Man and Freezer.
Yeah.
They came.
Come
out,
on.
They came. That record was made.
Yes.
and he put it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On a group that the world was not looking for at the time.
No, really by accident. That group is by accident.
Yeah. So. You gotta,
and that's why we have this platform, though, right? So that we can highlight sometimes the forgotten in this whole thing, right? But we haven't forgotten them, or they haven't had their chance where somebody put a spotlight on them,
right?
So you coming here and being who you are and being able to say this, and be able to talk about this, and us to have these conversations is so important, bro. So we're glad that you're outside.
Man,
As the
I'm not
YN
outside.
say, as the YN say, you outside, baby.
I'm not outside. I'm here.
Yeah.
Right,
But me and Tank be out. We got out. We
I'm
outside.
here.
one last thing before we get to the segment portion of what we do. We have something in common.
What y'all got in common, man?
I am Dr.
Oh, here we go.
Tank Babbs.
Here we go.
And
the
you are
honoraries.
also a doctor.
If somebody don't hear me and give me one of these
from
goddamn
Savannah College of Art and Design.
Yes.
I just want to salute you for that, my brother.
Thank you, doctor.
The time that you have put in, the work that you have done, the art that you have created has awarded you this doctorate.
Yes. Super proud of that.
Make no mistake about it, you earned this.
So are you talking to me as you're talking to him?
Yes. Man hours. Countless man hours.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely.
On the couch.
Listen,
Cup of noodles.
He a fellow dropout like me, man. Okay? Fuck all that.
That's my man's in there.
Absolutely. I'm Dr. Mr. Tricky Stewart now.
Dr.
Hey, my
Dr.
wife,
Mr. Tricky.
My wife be making so fun of me. She's like, you got so many names. I don't know what to call your ass no more. Yeah.
Dr. Tricky Stewart, ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen.
listen.
That's just a fellow doctor
I'm
right
not
here.
going to a doctor named Tricky, man.
I just-
When they tell me
Hey,
the nigga is
man.
Dr. Tricky, I'm be like, nope, I think he used to live with 2 prostitutes. I ain't going to Dr. Tricky.
Hey, I would check Dr. Tricky out. I'm like, oh, he might be up there. He might be on to something. I'm going to go over there and see what's going on.
Oh my God.
You never know.
You never know. It could get tricky.
It can get tricky. You never know.
Y'all are crazy.
Come on.
All right, man. Go ahead and be talented, dog. Oh, shit. This is great.
Hold on, let me get my thing right. You gotta, just my. Why are you looking at my Casio like that, bro? Come on, man. It's me and you.
This don't look like one of them $3,800 keyboards that
It is not.
that Tricky was buying. This
This is just to remind us of humble beginnings. I'm just trying to get it the way we live.
yeah. Out the
What
apartment.
was that, $180 a month? We just trying to
$45 a week.
do what we can afford. Brother Tricky Stewart, you have written and produced and put together some of the greatest
Orchestrated.
songs. Orchestrated. Biggest songs in music history.
He
We
be
also
doing it.
know
He be doing it.
that you have been inspired
Yeah.
by a lot of songs from the past, present, and future. We want to know
Come on, we.
what those songs are. And here on the R&B Money podcast and
Yeah.
our community, we like to call this
What we
Yo.
call it, champ? Tell them what we call it.
Top 5.
Oh no.
Your top 5.
Yeah. We want to know.
Top 5.
Hey.
Your top 5 R&B singers, R&B songs. We got to know before you go. Here on this show, everybody wants to know. Hey, your top 5. Yes. Right now.
My top 5 singers.
Your top 5.
You crazy. Oh wow.
Brother Tricky, your top 5 R&B singers.
All right, now you know this R&B thing is subject to opinion sometimes.
That
right?
100%.
But it's your opinion.
world.
But mine.
Yours.
Yes.
Okay, my top 5 R&B singers in no particular order. I'm gonna have Stevie Wonder on
Come
that
on,
list.
Stevie. Come on.
bless
Ribbon in the sky himself.
I'm gonna have Brian McKnight on that list.
Come on, Brian.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have El DeBarge on that list.
Yeah.
Charlie Wilson's on that list.
Come on,
Charlie
sir.
Wilson.
Charlie.
Yes, sir.
The Unk himself.
Yes, sir.
And in their prime, I have JoJo and Casey on that list.
Hey! Who? Yeah. Who? Yeah.
I say this all the time. There is no other JoJo and KC. There are people trying to be like, there are people who sound a little bit like. There is no other JoJo and KC.
Yeah.
Nope.
If we're talking R&B, like R&B voices, those are those are some of the ones that popped off. I love a lot of people.
You can try Jodeci harmonies, but they not gonna be Jodeci harmonies without JoJo and KC.
Yeah. I mean, your list was technically 6. I mean,
Top
What?
6.
Oh.
Tried to put them as a group.
Okay,
It's one
well,
out.
they're attached at the hip, though.
It's one
Yeah,
out.
That's Casey and JoJo.
Okay, your top 5 R&B songs.
Ooh. Well, that's a little bit more complicated. Let me go. Let me get. God, man.
You can name one of yours too, or 5 of yours. I mean, you got.
Shit.
It ain't none of mine.
You see, he got an 8,000.
It ain't none of mine.
got so many.
Let's go with Through the Fire.
Yes.
Chaka Khan.
Yes.
Let's go. Stevie Wonder. Let's go. Stevie Wonder. What's the song? Joy. What's the title? I'm drawing a blank, man. I'm drawing a complete blank on.
Google it.
I don't have my phone on.
Ruben getting it for us.
What's wrong with Joy?
But
Not overjoyed.
yeah, Overjoyed.
Overjoyed.
Yeah,
Okay.
Overjoyed.
Look at me being Google.
Nice.
Look at me.
Yeah, Overjoyed by Stevie Wonder.
God.
Come and Talk to Me.
Yep. Original or remix?
The original.
Original.
Okay.
Original.
It's not your list, bro. I'm asking him, bro. I know y'all both doctors, but come on.
Respect.
I'm talking to Dr. Mr. Tricky right now.
Respect us, man. Respect us.
Respect us.
I'm gonna have to say. This is a different type of R&B song, but I'm gonna have to go with like Man in the Mirror. Like,
What's different about it?
I mean, it's just. I mean,
Mike is
sometimes-
ours, man.
Yeah, but sometimes people like, because even with Mike, like I didn't put him in R&B singer, but Mike is like my favorite. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, people forget
They forget.
because the career was so. I mean, even though it was short, it was so long, and people forget
we
how
don't let them forget here.
how amazing his vocals were.
Absolutely.
How many have I done so far?
3.
I gotta go Purple Rain.
Come on, Purple Rain. Come on, Purple Rain.
And then I'm gonna go Roni, Bobby Brown.
That is
Life-changing record.
great record. Oh, that's so
Roni.
great. That is
Ronnie's
such
one of
a
my favorite
great
records
record.
of all times.
That
I
is
don't care
such-
when
Come
it
on,
comes on.
you got another one?
got
Come
sick.
on,
You do
come
sick.
on.
I know
Okay,
you-
okay.
Come on.
Wow.
You listen. Come on, doctor.
If It Isn't Love. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Life-changing.
If It Isn't Love, I'm tripping.
Life-changing.
I'm tripping.
If It Isn't Love can be put in the R&B dictionary as just if you want to say what an R&B song is, play that record.
An R&B up-tempo record.
Play
Just
if someone has never heard R&B music, they should hear If It Isn't Love.
from production
Everything. Pristine.
to
Yes. Yep.
That's my list, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
On five, but you know.
yeah, you're
Well,
good.
it was more than 5.
I can do 5. No, but the truth is, I can do 5 with everybody that I have respect for and leave
Right.
everybody off the list.
Yeah.
But no, for sure.
I have a
For
top
sure.
5 for every single
Any
person.
scenario.
Because there's just so many people who've done such great work and dedicated themselves to being amazing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like if all I had, I could do just Babyface and
Of
and
course.
never
Absolutely.
and never
Of course.
touch another person.
Absolutely.
You know? Like so,
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Okay, let's make a Voltron. Dr. Tricky Stewart. We're going to make a Voltron. We're going to get the characteristics from any artist since the existence of time. We'll know who you can get the vocal from, performance style, styling, passion of the artist, and who's going to produce for this artist. What one vocal are you going to get for your super R&B artist?
Whitney.
Oh, we going power. Global, massive.
Flat-footed.
I'm using
From the hood.
I'm
No
using,
doubt. From the hood,
I'm
though,
using
too.
Whitney's voice. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna start
yeah.
with the voice for the voice.
Yeah.
Performance style on stage.
Michael.
Sang like Whitney and dance and
No,
perform
no.
like Mike.
Okay. You're saying
No.
build an artist
Yes.
that's a cohesive artist, not like my favorite person. Like
You're
just
putting all the characteristics
You're putting all the
together.
characteristics
Okay.
together to make your super R&B artist. So it's
super. Okay.
it's your super R&B artist. Like you're making, like you playing 2K and you building your player. What characteristics?
Yeah, this is the
from
creative
where?
player.
Okay.
Okay, so
Let's strike that.
What else we got next?
You said strike Michael?
No, strike. We're gonna start over.
All right.
We're gonna start over. Now that I know.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Vocal.
I'm gonna start with Beyonce's voice.
I know
No
why-
arguments
I know
here.
why you did that.
Because just for me, the person has to like.
I know-
I
I-
like it on the stage. Right?
I know
And
why
so
you did
it's
that.
like,
I get what you're doing.
so
Performance style.
Michael,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Styling.
Chris Brown,
Fly young brother. Stay fly.
He's like internationally fly.
yeah,
Yeah.
All of it.
He's fly everywhere he goes.
Everywhere he goes.
Don't matter.
The passion of the artist. Who gonna mean it?
Prince,
Mm.
Yeah.
You know it rained at the Super Bowl for him.
Supposed to.
It's never rained ever at the Super Bowl during the halftime show. Ever. But it rained
For him.
for him
It didn't rain on him.
during Purple Rain.
It rained for
For
him. I
him.
like the way you put that.
and
It
he practiced in the rain for the moment, and he was ready for the moment. How about that,
Prince.
Prince?
and who's producing this artist?
I'm gonna go with Timberland.
Timbo the King.
I'm gonna go with Timberland
My favorite of all time.
because I want it to be like,
Aggressive.
And different.
yeah, I want to get some. I want to
And
get,
futuristic.
yeah, I want to get paid.
I want to get paid. The executive side has kicked in.
get paid.
Yeah. I want to get paid.
I want to get paid. Timberland gonna get you paid.
Timberland gonna get you paid.
He's a monster.
Yeah,
a great list.
Monster.
yeah, that's.
I love the way you curated that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are who you are. Yeah.
What else you got for him, Chief? Come on. What you got for him?
I ain't saying no names.
Hey.
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no name. Who you was, who you with, what you did. Don't say shit. I ain't saying no name.
So we had a very important part of the show, my brother. Will you tell us a story, funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked up, but the only rule to the game is you can't say no names.
My story is gonna be so obvious because I have so few collaborators.
You can't.
No names.
You just can't say the names.
No names.
Let me see. I think one of the craziest things I've ever really experienced was being with one of the biggest artists in the world,
Okay.
and like, oh, no. Here it is. The story is I'm working with one of the biggest artists in the world, and at this time, when I fly into New York, I get car sick sometimes. So
Okay.
I opted to take to this artist session a layover from LA to New York. Like I stopped.
Okay.
And so something happened. The plane was late. Then the plane was late again.
Okay.
But at this time in my life, I used to sleep on the plane all the time. I don't do that anymore, but I was exhausted. I slept on the plane, got on the next plane, and we're super late. But I'm asleep, so I don't really know that we didn't take off. Like we literally sat on the
tarmac.
on the tarmac, and I'm just, you know. So I'm landing in New York now, I think.
Okay.
But I didn't hear that we weren't landing in New York. So my phone's going off. They're like, "Where are you? Everybody's here. Where are you?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I just landed." But I'm not in New York.
He don't know where he landed.
No, I don't know where I landed. So I have to call back. And I get so I have to call back and go, "You're not gonna believe this, but I got diverted to Buffalo." I'm not in New York. And so I was like, I don't know when I'm going to be there, but I'm going to be there. So now another hour goes by. I get there, rush to the studio. When I get to the studio, when I say everybody's there, this is one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah.
And everybody who cares about this artist
Is there?
is there. And all the biggest, the producers, that there's a producer, like producers there that are on fire.
Yeah.
And I'm coming in late as hell.
Hours late.
And I went into the studio. I didn't even say hi because it was just like the energy was so thick. And I went in the studio and I did one quick track like in about 3 minutes. And I did another track really, really quickly. And that first track that I did came in. It changed everything because it was a song that everybody started waving their hand to eventually. And they started going like this.
Yep.
But
One of the songs that got you into the Hall of Fame. So what you're saying is, when you do this record with Tank, we need to make sure you get diverted.
Heard it first.
but when I tell you the energy was thick,
Yeah.
I mean, from the management label
Yeah,
head,
of course.
anybody that you can imagine is sitting there waiting for me.
What you got?
Yeah. And so the pressure's on. And
you do this in front of them?
I mean, I went directly in the room and then came in. And then that was...
We're gonna blank his name out.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Like you walked into the room wherever they was, set up, and got to cooking.
No, I went in the other room.
Other room.
I went in the low room.
Yeah, he
little
was like,
room.
you know what? I don't deserve the big room.
Yeah, hold on one second.
I know I was late.
Give me 2 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. I'll be right back with you.
Seriously, it was the first one. It's
Wow.
Like, the first one was just to make sure.
You are sick.
Hey, listen, it was game time or I was going home.
Right.
And I knew that.
You are
It was dire.
Talking about delivery.
You are sick.
It was dire.
In the head.
It was
Good
dire.
Lord.
Yeah, you're like, bro, you're different.
You're tricky.
You're different, bro.
That was a lot. I've had some moments that's a lot, but
You're different, bro.
that one was a lot. I was about to throw up.
You threw a hit up. A big one.
Yes.
Bro, we are first of all glad that we were finally able to do this.
Yeah.
I think the timing of it is just perfect, man. You know, you getting into this Hall of Fame and being able to have that conversation here with us on R&B Money is just really dope, really awesome, man. As you can tell, we are fans.
Love what you do,
as
bro.
well as peers, but you're one of them ones, man.
Thank you,
and
bro.
so we respect you. We respect everything that you've accomplished. We respect all that you will continue to do.
Yeah.
And this place is your place. Whatever you ever need from us, man. Period.
Thank you, brother. I
And
appreciate
we
the
part of the
love.
team.
And I appreciate you guys like creating this platform. It's important to get these stories out there, man. You know, I don't like to talk. You know, I like to let the music do the talking, but at the same time, there is a time when you need to be heard in your own words.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I can't interpolate always through other people, and so you know, I will. One of the things I wanted to let you guys know too, I will be doing an album this year, my own album. Like it's the first time.
Oh, shit.
That I've ever like not singing, but just like doing, you know, how producers do
Yeah,
albums,
yep,
utilizing,
yep.
you know. And I would love to maybe do something with you. Like it's just
No,
gonna
don't
be,
maybe me. Don't
you
maybe.
know?
Don't maybe
you
me.
know, maybe you know.
Yeah, don't maybe me.
Don't maybe me.
check our text chain.
Yeah, secure my slot. I'll see you on the 16th.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
You performing down there?
on the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, at the arena.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll come down.
done.
All right.
And you'll see a picture of us on Instagram because he's on the gram now. He's out.
He on the gram.
Like this.
Yeah.
I'm outside so I can stay inside. You
Love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm J Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority
The
on all things
capital THE.
R&B and Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Dr. Tricky Stewart.
Yes, sir.
know. Yes. Thank you.